Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal-certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Sa panahong marami sa atin ay biktima ng pandemya. Sa simpleng paraan, paano tayo makakapaghatid ng saya? Po. Ano po, meron po akong delivery sa inyo? Magandang ano po. Pinapunta po ako ni Mariel dito. Kayo po ba si Chape? Opo, meron pong pinadala si Mariel na order po ninyo. Ito po yung order nyo. Tapos, ito po yung regalo po niya sa inyo.
Ay, thank you.
Opo. Pwede pong papirmahan po lang po dito.
Pwede.
Opo. Opo. Maraming salamat daw po sa lagi niyong pag-order sa
Pwede kayo na lang pumirma, parang autograph.
Maraming salamat. Opo. Lagi po kayong umu-order daw po sa kanya.
Actually, nag-start lang ako nung Father's Day and then nagustuhan ng mga anak ko.
Opo.
Sa sinundan ko na. Pero sa this time, syempre ang paborito ni Robin ang salpikaw at kapa ni Robin.
Opo. Dito lang po, pakipirmahan lang po dito. Opo.
Dito lang po?
Opo. Opo. Yan. Opo.
Picture?
Opo. Picture po tayo. Ako din po, magpipicture din po ako para proof ng ng delivery po. Tataas ko lang po ito. Opo. Ako na po ma'am, para hindi po kayo mabigatan. Yan. Maraming salamat po ma'am sa pagtangkilik niyo po kay Mariel. Opo.
Lagi ko akong order nito, basta po yung magbibili.
Yes ma'am, opo. Maraming salamat po. Salamat po. Ulitin po ma'am, salamat po. Tawagan ko lang po si Mariel para makausap niyo.
Sige po.
Hello, babe. Ito na, na-deliver ko na kay Ma'am Cha. Ito na si Ma'am Cha.
Napakagandang surprise. Thank you po. Ay, thank you po. Mauulit po. Thank you po. Thank you din po. Thank you po sa gift. Thank you po.
Okay pa.
Yes. Yes, thank you rin po. Thank you po.
Salamat po ma'am, salamat po. Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po. Enjoy. Thank you po. Sa pamamagitan ng dekalidad na serbisyo, hangad ng Moto Express na makapaghatid ng ngiti sa bawat Pilipino. Tara na!
Are you craving for some milk tea and donuts but you're watching your diet? Good news! You can now enjoy a healthier and superbly delicious keto milk tea and donuts here at Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut. Has fewer calories, so it's good for the health and diet conscious and controlling weight. Why choose Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut? The first halal certified milk Winkle Teas and Winkle Donut in the Philippines. The first healthy keto milk tea franchise in the Philippines. FDA approved. Uniquely infused milk tea flavors with high quality ingredients and premium taste. And if you want a healthy and refreshing franchise opportunity, a competitive healthy blended milk tea and donut franchise awaits you. We have business opportunity options you can choose from. Online seller, micro franchise, unit franchise, master franchise, international franchise. Order via our Facebook page, Winkle Tea and Winkle Donut, or contact 0995-551-4380 to experience this happiness in a box with your favorite Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you on how to register in our platform. Firstly, you need to click www.ejasmine.com. This is how our platform interface looks like once you click www.ejasmine.com. As you can see, on the top right corner, click the login or register button. You will see two options, which is login button and register button. If you already have an account, just simply fill in your details. But if you does not have an account, click the register button and fill in your details requirement. If you are interested for becoming a vendor, you can click become a vendor button below. For vendor registration, you need to complete the details requirement. If you have halal certificate, you need to upload it on this section. Last but not least, once you have completed all the detail requirements, just click the register button. Thank you.
Good morning. Ay, ayan, akala ko naka-off, naka-mute ako. Okay, so good morning again mga kaguro. So I am Theresa Malco, your host in Teachers Bureau. Ayan. So magandang Saturday morning. And of course, my signature bate with you, Ciao Bella. Okay, so I would like to say hi din po kay Sir Ismael, kay Sir Carl, and of course, ang taong nagbigay sa akin ng opportunity here in BBN and GPTV, si Sir Yao. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. And also, yung katatapos lang po nating mga commercial, if you are interested, Motor Express, the Winkle Milk Tea and Donut, it's keto and halal. Oh, Ma'am Amig, meron tayong donuts na pwedeng, ang tawag dito, i-order in. Ayan. Kasi this is keto and halal. Ngayon ko lang talaga totally na nakita at nabasa yung sa commercial. And of course, Jasmine. Thank you so much po sa mga tawag dito, mga po natin, mga sponsors. Ayan. Okay, so for today, what we are going to talk about is just a continuation of what we have talked about last Saturday. We were talking about benchmarking last Saturday, and today I'm going to give you the 4 different kinds of benchmarking. Ang industry kasi mabilis. Okay, so mabilis siya. Maraming mga tao sa industry, mga entrepreneurs, mga practitioners, of course, continuously, of course, doing a lot of a lot of innovations. Ayan. So, hindi yan lahat nakukuha ng libro. But of course, for today, academically speaking, we have 4 kinds of benchmarking. Ma-identify ito ng mga entrepreneurs natin that ginagawa na pala namin to o ginagawa namin to. And benchmarking, of course, as I've said last Saturday, it is one of the many strategic management that most businessmen are doing. Okay? So kahit gaano po kaliit ang ating negosyo, we could always do this. And of course, hindi katulad ng ginagawa ng SM, ng Robinsons, not that. But in our own way of strategically planning, magagawa po natin ito. And it's best that we could identify the different kinds of benchmarking. Kung nagagawa natin, okay, this will give us a click in the mind na, ginagawa na pala namin to. But if not, it's nice to know that there are kinds of benchmarking. Mas maganda po kasi na we have focus, hindi yung medyo watak-watak. Maganda yung may focus tayo when it comes to benchmarking. And benchmarking has different kinds nga of doing it. Ayan. So let me show you. Okay, so i-move ko lang po. Yan. Yan. Move ko lang po. Yan. Move lang natin. So let's start again. Okay, so from last week po, we have identified what benchmarking is. And benchmarking is the process, just to reiterate lang po before we move on to the types. So benchmarking is the process of measuring the performance of a company's products, service, or processes against those of another business considered to be the best in the industry. So yun yung binabanggit ko po kahapon. Aside from the being the best, okay, syempre, you have to check kung align siya sa business siya. Dapat kasi magkaparehas kayo ng business na ginagawa. Mahirap yung nagre-retail ka tapos nagbe-benchmark ka sa wholesale. That is totally disaligned. So dapat the best in the industry doing the same business with you. So if you are into retail, should be in retail po ang ating pong i-benchmark. Okay? So let's move on. Okay, so benchmarking helps organizations identify areas, systems, or processes. This was actually discussed last time for improvements. Okay, the main purpose of benchmarking is for improvements of our systems and processes. Okay, either incremental, that is continuous improvements, or dramatic. Pag sinabi natin dramatic, yung tipong talagang totally mag-aayos po tayo because something has to change. Dramatic kasi biglang bumagsak ang inyong kita or profit, and then you have to make dramatic or drastic actions. Okay, so let's move on. Ayun. Ay, okay. So medyo na move natin ng konti. Ayun. So yung pong word na re-engineering, that is very, tawag dito, that is, I learned re-engineering, sorry. I learned re-engineering when I was in Greenwich. That was in 1996. Nagkaroon, 1996 or 1997, I think. 1998. I don't really remember which of those years, but definitely we had a re-engineering of the processes. So actually, kasi diba, mother company namin si Jollibee, and of course, during those times, kailangan ng re-engineering, and so lahat po ng proseso, we had a general meeting, and lahat ng proseso ibinigay namin, ano yung ginagawa namin, ano yung specific na ginagawa namin sa bawat oras na to, and then sa bawat oras, sa bawat week, sa bawat month. And then after that particular meeting, they gathered all the information from us, yung mga store managers. And then after, siguro, I cannot really remember because it's too long, too far. Okay, so siguro after 1 month or so, we were given a specific task to do in a daily basis kasi kailangan i-pilot test yung ano po, yung proseso na nire-recommend nung kinuha naming consultant. during those times. There was a consultant for re-engineering, of course. And so, syempre sa umpisa, the normal thing in every company is resistance. Ang daming nagre-react, ang daming, di pwede yan. Kasi syempre, yun yung nakasanayan. Pag yun yung nakasanayan mo, yun talaga yung feeling mo tama. Pero hindi lahat ng nakasanayan, tama. Okay, so during those times, I was very young, and I realized na hindi lahat ng ginagawa mo ay tama. So you just have to succumb tawag dito, your system, your whole person in the kind of changes that is going to happen. Ayan po. So sa re-engineering process, it's really a very tasking phase in a company kasi nire-reprocess, inaayos niya yung proseso. Okay, so pag sinabi kasi, I remember when I was in Greenwich, ang nagkaroon kami ng problema is that a lot of the customers are actually complaining that we are delivering the product, the end product, after we take the order or took the order that time. Matagal naming na ibibigay yung food. So dine-in. So pagka ganun kasi, there should be nagkaroon na kami kagad ng re-engineering. Ano yung ginagawa namin? Bakit tumatagal? Kasi the voice of the customer is really very important. Pag sinabi ng customer mo na may problema, you have to hear them. You have to listen to them. Or else, baka mawala ka sa industry. So you really have to listen to the voice of the customer. And tits and bits, yun yung mga naaalala ko. And napakaganda ng proseso ng re-engineering because we learned a lot in the process during those time. I, for one, as a manager and as young as I were that time, I learned and I realized a lot of things during the process of re-engineering. And it's really for improvement. Ang re-engineering is kind of big word. Of course, pang big company lang yan. No. Kahit po sa maliliit na company, kahit po sa maliliit nating negosyo, pwede po ito. Let's not just use, re-engineering is a big word. Words lang po yan. What's important is the way on how we are going to do it. Okay? So that's it. Let's move on to the next. Okay, so we have what we call the internal benchmarking. This type of benchmarking is a comparison of a business process to another similar process in the organization. Of course, ako, now that I am doing this with you, my only, information that I have is what I experienced in the past. I cannot really particularly remember when I was in Greenwich yung comparison of a business kung saan nila specifically kinumpare yung processes namin during those times with that particular complaint. Okay, so importante kasi yun. But though I cannot give you the details for now, but I believe during those times there is really a comparison, and that comparison was analyzed and deciphered by the consultant na hire po during those times. Nagbabanggit talaga ako ng pangalan, but that was a long ago. Kahit naman siguro mapanood ni Greenwich ito, it's okay, wala namang problema because that is my personal experience during those times. And it's a good experience. Wala man tayong And then what else? Yun. It was, I believe that was deciphered by our consultant during those times. I as a manager, hindi naman lahat dinadivulge ang information sa amin. What was taken from us was only the particular processes that we were doing those times. So yun lang yung binigay namin. So whatever the comparison, nadi-decipher yan ng upper management. Okay? So if you are an entrepreneur at ikaw ang may-ari ng negosyo mo, you decipher kung kanino mo ito i-compare. okay, it was mentioned, since this is internal, nakalagay doon, internal comparison of processes. And since that time, of course, we are affiliated to Jollibee, the process, I believe, and I think I'm right, was of course doon sa process na meron si Jollibee. Kasi halos parehas lang naman. We're just selling different food items, but the process is the same. So, kailangan we deliver the food exactly 60 minutes. Hindi ko lang alam kung 60 minutes. 6 minutes pa rin as of this time yung dapat na delivery time ng food sa customer upon ordering. Hindi ko alam kung yun pa rin siya as of this time. But during those times, should be 6 to 7 minutes. Okay? So, kung hindi namin yun nagawa, there is a problem. And of course, it creates customer complaint. So, what is the internal benchmarking for us is, of course, yung process na ginagawa ng aming mother company. Okay? So, we align some of the processes na pareho sa aming dalawa. Ano na naman, sorry. So, example, ito na po, warehousing and shipping of products from one site of a company can be compared to warehousing and shipping of a product from a different warehouse of the company. We're talking about conglomerates. Yan, katulad nga po ni Jollibee and other companies po, kapag meron na po silang mga other companies aside from the mother company, it's easier kasi internal yon. Sa kanila yon yung proseso nila. Okay? Okay, the benefits is of course cost efficient kasi nandun naman na sa loob, it's internal, relatively easy because all the data is available for you. Hindi ka ko-questionin, mabilis mong makukuha yung information. I remember those times na kapag may kailangan kaming information, madali kong makausap yung Jollibee managers because I am a Greenwich manager, and we could easily talk it out within ourselves kung ano yung mga processes namin. And if I can easily get information from them and they readily give it to us kasi nga we are sister company. And easy to transfer lessons learned. Of course, it's easy. Especially, madaling mag-create ng, those times, madaling mag-create ng meeting with Greenwich and Jollibee managers. Napakadali. Of course, ang kailangan mo lang gawin is just to ask your superior, your area manager for a meeting if it is really a need. And if your area manager feels that there is a need, of course, babanggitin niya sa operations manager. And the common language. You have a common language, of course. Sa amin, during those times, I remember, napaka-common yung lingwahe namin. Kahit iba-iba yung, of course, we have a different product. We sell a different product. Pero, pareho yung, almost the same yung proseso. So, we have a common language when it comes to customer complaints, customer feedback, yung mga processes on how to do the fries, kung frying ang pinag-uusapan, and a lot more things about that. Helps gain a deeper understanding of your own processes. Yeah, this is very true. Kasi nga, internal. So, mas madali mapag-usapan in a deeper sense, in a deeper understanding, the processes that you're going to change, alter, or improve. And there is a great starting point of benchmarking studies. Totoo naman yan. Pupunta tayo dun sa taas, it is relatively easy kasi nga, the data is readily available within your mates. You can always get it from people around you. All you just need to do is just ask. Or formally, you can write a letter. Ayan. Okay, so moving on. Of course, hindi naman ibig sabihin meron tayong tinatawag na benchmarking, na it's internal, it's good, nakita niyo lahat yung benefits, wala siyang challenges. Okay, syempre, walang perfect system, as we always say. Walang perfect system. You cannot find a perfect system as katulad din niya na you cannot find a perfect boyfriend, a perfect partner, a perfect asawa. Okay? So there is always a challenge. So within the challenge, kailangan alam nyo yung challenges na yun. Hindi po pwedeng hindi. There are some people who are blinded or refuse to see the challenges. Okay, refuse to see the negative side of everything. Why? I don't know why with them, pero siguro kasi they would like to assume that what they have is a perfect system. Again, there is no perfect system. Wala nyo. There's no such thing as that. Okay? Katulad nga tayo, we are not perfect. So, if the system is made by a person, how can the system be perfect? So there's no perfect system because the one who did it is, of course, not perfect. Okay. So what are the challenges? So we have fosters mediocrity, limits options for growth, of course. Bakit nagkakaroon ng limitations for growth? There is always a possibility, of course, na within the system, when it's internal, pwede kasing may mga information na you don't want to reveal, you don't want to provide. And if that will be the case, nagkakaroon ng limitation for growth. If we want to really if we really want to grow, okay, kailangan it should be laid out on the table. Lahat. Pangit at maganda. Hindi pwedeng puro maganda ang pinag-uusapan. Dapat nga ang mas pinag-uusapan kung ano yung pangit, kung ano yung hindi maganda. Kasi doon ka mag-grow. Yung magaganda, maganda na yan eh. Ang kailangan mo lang gawin dyan is to sustain it. But for the things that we should be able to grow, for the things that would help us to grow, okay, ito yung mga negative side or the challenges, ito yung mas dapat tinututukan at tinitingnan. Kaya the negative or the challenges is as important as the good ones. Or maybe more important than the good ones. Kasi here, you just have to sustain it. Do not forget about that. At huwag mong gagawing challenge yan later on. Pero yung lahat ng hindi magaganda, of course, you have to check on it, look on it, and be it your basis for growth and improvements. Okay? Low performance, bakit? Kasi there's always what we call resistance. Kapag nagbabago yung sistema, yung iba kasi nade-demotivate. Why? Kasi system ko to sa store. Kaming mga store manager during those times, we are the kingdom. We are the kingdom. We have our kingdom pala. Sorry. We have our kingdom and our store is our kingdom. So whatever we do in that store, those are our initiatives. May mga tao kasi na nasasaktan kapag binabago yung system nila, which is dapat hindi. Kaya nga binabago para merong improvement at dapat may improvement over the years. Sa business, kailangan every 3 years or every 5 years, meron kang pagbabago. Hindi po pwedeng wala para sumabay ka sa takbo ng panahon. Sabi nga nila. Okay? So, what else? Can create an atmosphere of competitiveness. This is always true. Lalo na kapag highly competitive ang mga kasama mo, para sa kanila, it's always competition. And too much competition is not good. Okay? If it's a friendly competition, walang problema. But if it's too much, nagkakaroon tayo ng problem dahil sumasabay na dyan yung mga personal grudges natin, mga personal negativities natin kapag we are too much into competition. So we have to lessen the competition, of course. Lalo na kapag kamiyembro naman natin, hindi natin kailangan maging sobrang competitive with them. May lead to internal bias in the organization. And this is always true. Bias is always true. We are people. We always have biases in ourselves. And so we always have to be very objective. How to be objective? Later, meron akong i-share sa inyo paano ko mini-maintain yung objectivity kasi natutunan ko rin ito sa aking mentor in the past. Okay, so competitive benchmarking is a direct competitor-to-competitor comparison of a product, service, process, or method. So ito yung binanggit ko last time na last Saturday, na hindi lahat ng competition is about company to company. Nabanggit ko last time, di ba? Meron ding competition sa product lang. Kasi yun lang yung magkapareho kayo. But the total setup ng isang company is not the same. Here, ito yung competitive benchmarking wherein competitor to competitor comparison. You can see a lot of competitor-to-competitor comparison in the market. Okay, napaka obvious niyan sa market natin. I don't really have to mention it here. So, alam na ninyo kung ano yung mga companies na in competition with each other. Ayan. Okay, so name it in your head. So this form of benchmarking provides an opportunity to know yourself and your competition better. Combine forces against another common competitor. Okay? So yan ang tinatawag nating competitive benchmarking. So maganda kasi na nakikilala mo yung sarili mo, at the same time you are looking into your competitors' processes. So this is the benefits, a chance to know your competitors in a better way. Okay? So walang black propaganda whatsoever, ha? Hindi ko na yan kailangan banggitin pa dito kasi over the years, yung mga nakikinig sa atin na into business, you know what I'm talking about. Black competition is out. Let's know our competitor in a better way. Okay, so possible new partnership, of course. Mas maganda yon. Sabi ko nga, when we collaborate, there is better innovation. And then useful for planning and setting of goals sa atin, okay, in our own company. So this is the challenges. Legal issues may arise, of course. Siyempre, ibang company yon. Pwede kang mapagbintangan ng, wala pa kasi DPA noong time na yun, no? Pero ngayon meron na kasi. And then, relatively low performance improvement. Bakit? There is always a possibility, of course, na pag nakikita mong mas maganda yung system nila, mas nag-grow sila, medyo nag-deteriorate naman yung sa atin, for example, or sa inyo, okay? And may provide misleading information. Totoo yan, kasi hindi naman lahat ng nasa website ay updated. Yun ang napansin ko. Of course, a lot of companies have their own websites. But then again, dapat meron talagang nagmamanage niyan. Yung siya lang, yun lang yung tututukan niya, wala nang iba. Para every now and then, as we go along, the system or the website is always updated. So if the website is not updated or it's not being updated for at least 3 months, then delayed na kagad yung information. Whatever information that you see on the website is no longer visible. Okay? So you are now getting the wrong information. And of course, competitors could exploit your weaknesses. Definitely. Pag nakikita mo yung weaknesses ng competitors mo, some in the industry would take an advantage on that weaknesses. At hindi naman yun, mahirap itago yung weaknesses mo. Mahirap din yun na hindi nila din makita. So, ang pinakamaganda lang dyan, as a company, dapat marunong kang mag-counteract ng sarili mong weaknesses. You are doing this during SWOT analysis. Okay? Okay, so functional benchmarking is a comparison to similar or identical practices within the same or similar functions outside the immediate industry. Okay, so not necessarily same product, but we are talking about yung mga functions in the same industry. So hindi necessarily mean na parehas kayo ng product na binibenta. Kasi possible din na parehas kayo sa same industry. So ano yung mga tawag dito? Ano yung mga companies na nasa same industry in the market? Hindi ko na kailangan banggitin. Again, you can always check that out and research on it. Pero there's a lot. Actually, makikita nyo siya. Sa commercials pa lang, makikita nyo na yung mga companies kapag naglalagay sila ng commercial sa TV, sa YouTube, etc., etc. Even sa newspaper, makikita na ninyo kung alin yung mga companies na nasa same industry. We're not talking about yung same products and same companies, but we're talking about the same industry. Okay, pag sinabing same industry, for example, sige, thank you, food industry. So, lahat ng nasa food industry, yan ay same industry. Lahat ng, for example, may mga tinatawag yung reselling pala, reselling tsaka wholesalers, ayan. So, kahit na ano pa yung products na kanilang binibenta, as long as they are in the same industry, yan po yung ibig nating sabihin. Okay, so functional industry might identify practices that are superior in your functional areas in whatever industry they may exist. Okay, so that's what we are talking about. Okay, let's move on. So this provides industry trend information and also quantitative comparison. Quantitative comparison is about numbers, and numbers talks. Okay, so kung ano yung sinasabi ng numero, never yung nagsisinungaling. So pag sinabi niyang 10%, it's 10%. Although it depends on the amount para malaman ninyo kung ano yung percentage. And then, of course, better improvement rate. These are all the benefits when it comes to functional benchmarking. So this is now what we call of course, the challenges again. The common functions can be difficult to find. Why? Kasi medyo general siya dahil industry ang pinag-uusapan, medyo broad talaga siya. Hindi siya specific. And so it's really very difficult to find. But if you find one, it would be best for your company kasi you are in the same industry and you are competing with the same consumers. Ayan. So it takes more time. Of course, it takes more time. When it takes more time, you have to give it more time. Ang problem lang dyan, if the time is pressing, no. Actually, there's no such thing as parang nagka-cramming ka. I mean, pag pinag-uusapan natin ng planning, you have to always consider planning ahead of time. So, dapat you have ample of time to prepare and plan. Never do the cramming kasi that would definitely 100% sure failure. Okay? So, data is either too general or too specific. Nabubulol ako. Okay, so yun po. It's either too general or too specific because you are looking into companies that is in the same industry. And even though you are in the same industry, you are not really direct competitors. But you are sharing the same market. Okay, so let's move on. Oops. Okay, so after functional, we have the generic. This benchmarking broadly conceptualize unrelated business processes or functions that can be practiced in the same or similar ways regardless of the industry. Totoo to, kahit sa personal nating buhay, pag tumitingin tayo, 'di ba? Pag syempre sa loob ng company, we see our colleagues. Okay, although hindi kayo magkapareho, but you will see something in her that you can adapt to yours. And that is an improvement on your part. Pag nakita mong maganda yon and you want to adapt it sa'yo, sa sarili mo, it's your improvement. Okay? So, within our colleagues, this is also happening. Kapag nag-meeting kayo, tapos you share your best practices, although hindi kayo pare-parehas ng department, but you can look into something dun sa practices na yon that can be adapted in yours. So this is how we see generic benchmarking. Okay, ginagawa na natin to even in our own industry, especially when we talk about best practices. So the focus of this type of benchmarking is on being innovative and gaining insight into excellent work processes rather than on the business practices of a particular organization or industry. Moving on. And of course, the outcome is usually a broad conceptualization, yet careful understanding of a specific generic work process that works extremely well. Okay, we have to acknowledge that fact. Na, although it's generic, but if it works well and you can adopt it, then surely it can make your company improve. And also, tayo rin, when we are, of course, handling a department, handling people in our department, this is extremely very useful for us. If we can use that for our advantage, so be it. And it's okay to borrow. There's no problem about that. Just always say thank you and always, anong tawag dito? Give credit to where credit is due. Okay, so these are the benefits. So high payoff, non-competitive kasi industry lang naman and it's okay. Napakaraming innovation kasi nasa within the industry. And then high potential for discovery, of course. Examines multiple industries. When you examine multiple industry, you gain a lot of good practices from it. So these are the benefits of generic competition or generic benchmarking. Ayan. Ano nangyayari sa akin? Okay. Okay, so top challenges, difficult concept to grasp, of course. Sabi nga, because you are just in the same industry, can be, you are just in the same industry but not in competition directly in any processes or product, can be difficult to identify the best in class. Yeah, it's really difficult kasi nga masyadong it's either general or too specific. Lalo na pag hindi nag-align or hindi nagko-complement. High potential for discovery. Okay? And also, time-consuming. Kung may high potential of discovery tayo sa benefits, meron din tayong high potential ng discovery as a challenge, of course. Kasi, pag nadidiscover na yung processes mo ng iba, what happens? Siyempre, nagkakaroon na yan ng duplication. At kapag na-realize mo na nagkakaroon na siya ng duplication, you have to be, what? You have to be aggressive to innovate more. Ganyan naman talaga sa industry. And it's okay. At the end of the day, who's benefiting from all of this? It's the market. It's the consumers. So we love our consumers kasi we get our profits from them. And it's just best for us to innovate and think of a lot of ways on how to make better services and products for them. Okay? And of course, time-consuming. Yan naman talaga lagi. Okay, so that's it. Pwede ko na bang tanggalin to? Paano ko ba okay, alam ko na kung paano siya natanggalin. Nagawa ko na yan dati. Yes. Okay, so that's it for our four specific na mga different kinds of benchmarking. Ayan, do we have message from the viewers? If wala naman, hello, hi sa mga nakikinig or sa mga nakikinig parang radyo, sa mga nanood. Ayan po. Hi Ma'am Leis. Nakita ko yung message mo kanina. Thank you so much for your message. And if you are watching this, good morning to you and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Do not forget, 7 a.m. sabi mo. Okay, and so, sabi ko nga kanina, I'm going to give you just a tip para po paano natin magiging very objective lang tayo. From what I have learned from a mentor, when I way back when I was younger, okay, sabi niya, kailangan lang focus. Focus ka sa ginagawa mo. You have to focus first on yourself. Lagi naman tayong babalik dun sa sinasabi nila na you cannot give what you don't have. So you have to focus on yourself first and then grow yourself, make yourself better, make yourself beautiful, ganyan. Okay, so just focus on what you are doing and do not mind other people. So that makes you very objective. And also, personally, sa akin, on a personal note, I am very objective when it comes to hindi ako masyadong yung personal level kasi dapat may konting tawag dito, may konting harang, may wall. Hindi kailangan too close for comfort. When you are too close for comfort, you lose objectivity. So most of the time, kailangan you have boundaries. Hindi kailangan lahat binibigay. So for me, yun yung way ko on how to really always be objective. And before I end, I would like to say this, that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So again, benchmarking is a very good strategic management planning that we can do in our own business, may it be a big company or a small company, even micro company. Okay? Ang micro at ang small, ang lahat ng company ay nagsisimula sa micro at saka small, papunta sa conglomerate, sa malalaking company. So, think big. Thank you so much and ciao Bella. Bye!